tail end it now.
Now we have the Solo.
Yes.
Which you guys are debuting.
Flying around there.
Flying around, having fun.
Having fun.
Now, I've been following 3DR for a very long time. You know, you guys have the APM boards, the Pixhawks,
yep.
And the really was the open source where it wasn't no such thing for 3DR, a bind and fly or a plug and play, ready to fly.
Absolutely.
We had to program for days.
Yes.
You know, what's the Solo all about?
Well, the idea behind it is to, you know, have the normal consumer be able, it's plug and play, right? So ready to fly out of the box. And then what you can also do if you're an advanced user, get in and start programming and do the things that you want if you want, you know? So just like the Iris Plus, you can get into the advanced settings. You know, by default there's a geofence to stop you from going a certain amount of feet or height. You can get rid of that. So there's a lot of those settings that you can change.
So it is still back to 3DR roots, that it's open source.
And that's the whole point about it, you know, is that yes, we got a ready to fly system, but for all those advanced users that like to tweak and have their own settings.
But now let's talk about some of the things that the Solo is doing right out of the box. So your user comes out. We were listening to Colin do his speeches. I've been watching your cool videos, and we see a few things like cable cam, orbit, selfie, follow me. Those are all super cool things, but do we have to program those in, or?
It's all ready to go, pretty much. So the great thing about it, it used to be just like a Android platform that you would have to use your tablet to change settings and everything. But now you can use an iOS, Apple phone, or the tablet, the iPad. So that's the great part about it. And once you connect it, the software and everything, it's a pretty simple interface to change settings. For instance, we have a thing called cable cam, and you can do that all on the fly. So it's kind of like waypoints, but you can set it from A to B on the fly. Start from A, set your point, fly to B, set your point, and then you have this imaginary cable cam, pretty much, right? So now it's just a one-touch button to go from A to B as many times as you want, while you can just pay attention to the cinematic shot that you want to get, you know? And you can change the yaw while it's just doing its thing. So it's kind of like it's a dual operator in one. You know?
So literally we set our point from A, fly up, set our point to B. It could be higher, it could be the same, and then we come back and then we press a button on the actual controller, on the app.
On the app, yes.
So we press the button on the app, and then the quad is actually flying itself from point A to point B, nice and steady.
Nice and steady.
And then we can control the gimbal?
Yeah, so now you're only having to worry about the shot that you want to get. So you can control the tilt, and you can control the yaw or the rotation of the heli while it's making this path between A and B.
So we can, so when it's going from A to B, we can still literally yaw it and then pitch our camera so
Absolutely.
We can do a
Well,
cinematic
still
look.
on that same path, so it doesn't change any other direction while you're yawing.
And then I heard that we can actually do that kind of like cable cam idea with the camera as well. Like we can pitch it down to one point, pitch it up to another point.
Absolutely. So you can make it a full cinematic shot without even doing anything. You just press play. You can set key points in the pitch and change a certain amount of seconds. So if you want like a 20-second shot, right, you program that into the remote or simultaneously onto the app, so you can, let's say you can automatically rotate. You have a location and the cable cam is coming through, and you have it shoot at the target the whole time while it's rotating, right? You do the whole cable cam. Absolutely. So you can also do that on the fly. That means basically you can choose a target, and you can choose the diameter of what you want to orbit around the target, right? So and you choose the height and how fast and everything, which makes it pretty useful, and it's a perfect orbit. You know, if you're doing it by manually, you don't get that perfect orbit usually. You know,
well,
unless you're a very skilled pilot, and that's why we made that, so that the beginner can get that cinematic shot without without being a professional.
Right, and let's face it, I mean, we've been flying quads for a very long time, and that's one of the things that we practice so hard to do, is get that perfect orbit around us without following or getting that there. So you guys built that into the app.
Absolutely, and another thing about orbit is if you wanted to get a little more advanced, you can control why it's autonomously doing this radius circle, right, around your target. You can change the yaw effect and look elsewhere in orbit. Is if you wanted to get a little more advanced, you can control why it's autonomously doing this radius circle, right, around your target. You can change the yaw effect and look elsewhere. Like I said, it's like having a second operator with you at all times.
Which, when we talk about bigger units and cinematography and things like that, going up to our big hexes and octos, dual man setups that are very expensive, and still those are still super hard shots to get. So that's super, super cool. And then the selfie. Tell me about your selfie.
It's kind of like the what some people call the droning, you know, and that's where a single touch of a button on the remote, or well, it's on the app. What it does is it takes off and then flies back and gets the whole perspective of the target you're shooting at. Usually it's a person, you know, and it takes off and it goes about 150 feet, or you can change it to your settings if you want, and the speed that you want, which is really cool, and then it'll come back and land all by itself.
And now you guys are calling it the selfie, but it doesn't have to be a person. We can set it on any object or whatever we want,
absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. So get that really dramatic.
You can do it with a building, a structure. You can use it for any.
Super, super cool, and we can still deal with all of our programs that are in it. So we want to go 50 feet high, 100 feet high, things like that. We can
absolutely
still deal with all of that.
It still has the waypoint function of an Iris Plus, obviously. You can do spline, you can do all that cool stuff.
That is all the rage. It's been all the rage over CES and NAB, and for the past 6 months is something called Follow Me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does the Solo have Follow Me?
Absolutely, 100%. That's a great part about it. And, the thing about Follow Me mode is that you can basically just take your tablet and click button to say fly up. Now at any height you want, you can change at any height, and you can tell it to follow you. You can get in your car, because the thing goes up to 55 miles an hour.
Wow, okay.
Get in your car, you can start driving, and it'll follow you the whole way. You can do different settings. You can have it orbit you while it's following you, which is awesome. And the great thing about it is that in a case of the battery going out for some reason, it'll automatically go back from where it took off and land itself, which is nice. And it calculates the battery time that you have left on your Solo, and it knows the distance, so it calculates how much battery it'll take to go back.
So it's not just going to fall out of the air when it's on its way back home, because it doesn't have enough juice. Pre-production models, right?
Yes.
These aren't available to go buy right now.
No.
When
they
will?
Are in production right now, and they come out. That when you purchase it, first of all, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, send it back. We'll give you your money back. Now, the next thing is you've heard about the treacherous flyaways. Everyone's heard about that, right? And it's unfortunate. And when you lose your drone, it's gone and you're out a lot of money, right? Well, we're so confident that this thing won't fly away that we will guarantee, we will give you a whole new Solo if it flies away and it's not pilot error, for free. And then, since you lost your GoPro too, we will give you a coupon for a new GoPro.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And now
no one else offers that.
No one else.
So, and how we find out about if it's pilot or if it's an actual flyaway is that the remote is logging all of the data of the flight.
Now, how can the remote log the data?
Because it takes it. There's two different computers. You know, it's a dual computer system. One is in the remote, and one is in the copter, right? So they're talking to each other, they're calculating things, they're gathering all the data, knowing all the parameters and everything, and constantly checking everything.
Did I hear a certain name of a computer that was in them? Are they is it the Linux?
It's the Linux.
It's the Linux computer, yeah. And there's one literally in the quad and one literally in your hand.
Absolutely.
So that thing, the one that's the black box is in our controller, right?
Yes.
And it's actually logging all of our logs,
all the data
constantly. So if something does happen, it falls out of the sky, it flies away, and it's not user error, you guys can actually figure that out. And then you guys are saying that you guys will replace, either fix, repair, or replace it, and then also as well replace our GoPro.
Absolutely.
And
no other company does that.
Does that? No, and that's groundbreaking in our industry.
So confident in the product.
Absolutely. Now, how do you know if I have, let's say I have a GoPro 3 on it, but I lose my quad and I'm going to say I have a GoPro 4?
That's the thing. It knows what model you have when you plug it in. It knows exactly everything about the GoPro, the serial number on it and everything.
So this quad is just really smart. It's super, super smart.
Yep.
It knows everything that's going on.
Absolutely.
And it can tell 3D what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think I heard that if there's a problem with it or something's going on, that the controller of the app will actually say, hey, we think you had a problem. Do you want to submit a ticket right through the app?
Exactly. Yep. Submit a ticket and then it will automatically go to us, and we can check it out and we'll let you know what's going on with it, how we can help, or if there's any potential errors later down the line. Especially for your ESCs or your motor or something.
Oh, well, speaking about ESC and motors, now I think that one big thing about this is that you guys have made it so that it's easy to repair, it's easy to replace. Let's say we're out and we wreck a motor or ESC or something.
Yeah.
You know, on other setups, and when you build your own or whatever, you got a bunch of soldering, you got a bunch of screws, you got a cover that you have to take off, you know, 20, 30 screws. What's different in this one?
Well, the best part about this is you can be at a location, and if you have any extra motors on hand and one burns out for some reason, it's just plug it and play. You don't need to solder anything at all. You can hot swap it really quick, your ESC or your motor. And also about that is we built this in mind to keep it for a long time. So in that perspective, we can later down the line we will have upgraded motors, so that we can upgrade the ESC if you want more power, you know, and the motors as well. So
you guys are basically built this thing to be very modular. So let's say we come out with, and I've heard rumors that you guys, different companies are going to be able to make stuff because there's an expansion bay, so it could be modular.
Absolutely.
Let's say LiDAR.
We made it open-ended, so people can come in and make what they want with it, and
so we can from what I heard, it's just 4 screws, unplug the motor, plug it back in, no solder, modular, 4 screws back, and we're done.
Yep.
And the same thing with
really quick.
Really, that's super quick.
Probably do it in like a minute's time.
Yeah,
60 seconds.
That's super quick, and you know, I just really like the Solo, everything about it. You know, I know that you guys are still in. This is the pre-production model, and we'll be out pretty soon in the next few months.
Yeah.
So we really look forward to what's going on, and 3DR really stepping up to make
change
this happen.
the LEDs, however, whatever color they want them to be, which is pretty awesome. You know, you don't have to stay with the default settings of LED light.
So we can change it to red, green, blue, just whatever we want. Front red, back red, front white.
You
So
can change them all different colors that you
what are
want.
these going to be?
So the package without the gimbal, it's sold separately, is $9.99, and with the gimbal is $3.99. So you're looking at about $1,400, and then if you were to buy a GoPro, it's around what, $400. So you're looking at about $1,800. Ready to fly.
Ready to fly, fully cinematic. We can do so many different things. So $9.99 out the box without a gimbal. Did I hear that it's going to come with a non-axis gimbal holder or
absolutely
GoPro holder, so we can actually get up and start doing shots?
FPV if you want.
Just not stabilized.
Not stabilized.
And then to add the gimbal on, we're at $13.99, so $1,400.
Yeah.
And
then the extra batteries, they're smart batteries, so they cost another $149. Flight time, I don't know if we went over that, but it's 20 minutes, fully loaded.
With the gimbal and the GoPro and everything.
Pretty good flight time. You have just 2 batteries, you got 40 minutes right there, which is pretty big.
How long does it take to charge a battery, do you know?
It depends how much you drain the battery, obviously, but...
so we normally drain, let's say 30% to keep it safe.
Absolutely. So you're looking at about anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay. And
it's 4S battery.
4S battery,
yeah.
So it's not a 3S battery like some.
Yeah.
Okay. And then where can people find them?
You can pre-order right now on B&H Photo or DSLR Pros.
Or DSLR Pros.
Those are our 2 main ones that we're working with right now. I think there's a couple other ones out there.
And then did I hear that you guys are going into the big box stores too?
Absolutely. Best Buy, Fry's Electronics. I think those are the 2 main ones that we have going on. I'm sure we're going to come out with a lot more.
We'll be everywhere. Well, Craig, I super appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely.
And thanks for talking. And yeah, this is really awesome. And glad to see you guys finally show up at NAB and show up with something that is crazy.
This is our first booth. And the greatest part about it is we have the best, we got the best booth award.
You guys did get the best booth award.
And we also got the best drone award.
You guys hit it with the best drone award.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I was out on Facebook and Twitter last night and saying my personal opinion of the Solo, and I called it the showstopper. You know, I think it's the best drone that's out here that has been debuted in the past couple months. So
all of us are so excited about it. Like every single person that's employed always have tingles just talking about it because it's just great, exciting news. You know, there's a lot of great things packed into this little thing.
Now they can also go to you guys direct and buy it, right?
Absolutely.
So, and what's your guys' website?
It's 3drobotics.com.
And one thing that I have personally had with you guys that we don't have with all companies out there is your guys' customer support.
Absolutely.
So can we expect
upon that.
Can we expect that same customer support with this Solo?
Absolutely.